Hello everybody, it's Dr. Heather McCarter and I am here today to give you a little bit of background on CellCore. CellCore is the carbon detoxification system that I utilize. I've spent 90 hours in the last year and a half educating myself with it, within the background of the system and how it actually does detoxify and bind to the toxins in the body. And in lieu of me going to do another 30 hours here in May, I thought that I would start educating you a little deeper on how I can help you get rid of the toxins in the body. Toxins really wear down the system, clogs up the liver, clogs up the kidney. It also reduces your ability to stay well. It really binds up the immune system to waste its time on detoxifying you when it really should be fighting the invaders that are causing you illness. But the toxicity keeps you in a cesspool, per se, of the inability, that causes the inability for you to completely be able to keep on top of your immune system, your adrenal stress response, and your inflammatory response. So we do work with about 4 types of binders. How CellCore is a whole different classification in detoxification is that it works with It's so strong that it double binds the toxins. It does that by, they shatter all of these products, all of the carbon in these products to what we call nanoparticles. And those nanoparticles then are so small they can go through the gut lining, unlike charcoal, and into all 51 trillion cells to grab the toxin. When you energize the outer electron rings, as CellCore does, it gives it double the power. Charcoal is a very weak ionic bond. It stays in the gut, for example. It might bind up poisons if you took too many meds or if you had food poisoning, but it's not going to go into the system and get it out of the system. So how CellCore has overpowered that concept is by making everything a covalent bond. And they do that, which is a double bond. So it's more indestructible than an ionic bond, which is a weak bond. And they do that by putting electrons and sugars in the outer ring, making it nanoparticle size. It goes through the cell walls of the gut, the intestines, goes into all 51 trillion cells, can go into the cell and grab the toxins that I'm going to say that we work with the most, take it through the lymphatic system, through the liver, kidney, and out the urine or the bowel. So that's what I do on a regular basis. And that's how we work with everything from Roundup to industrial Middle Ohio Valley to heavy metals from heavy metal poisoning. And I'll give more real world examples of those, along with molds and toxins, such as yeast and funguses. So the 4 major binders I use, I do have one more binder that we use. It's called carbon trace minerals, but that's more of an inoculation, giving the cells energy to be able to detox. So one of the main ones that we use on a regular basis is biotoxin binder. All of you with yeast infections, chronic systemic yeast, thrush, vaginal yeast infections, yeast that grows under the breast tissue, in your adipose, in the rolls of maybe your stomach tissue. This biotoxin binder is amazing. It's also the primary product in the first steps of general phases and steps of detoxification when we're going really deep for those that are the most ill, autoimmune and inflammatory condition patients. But biotoxin binder is the primary that we use for mycotoxin poisoning. So as a mold specialist and a mold remover, those of you that are exposed to black mold in your home, this is the binder that you need. A lot of the symptoms are we've had patients as extreme as growing on the outside of their body, the mold has been, and or extreme mental anxiety and depression conditions. And also mold leads to everything as severe as cancer. So for those of you exposed to mold or that have symptoms of mold poisoning and mycotoxin poisoning, then get a hold of me, along with those of you with systemic yeast infections that never go away. I think you need to give us a call. Now, for those that are hardcore, some don't want to use any supplements whatsoever, and we have something called carboxy. Carboxy is pure black carbon. And you add this to water or I like to hide it maybe in cranberry juice. Or some people have different choices to really kind of hide the taste. But this is great for multifamily use. It's also a great replacement for the biotoxin binder in a multifamily use situation, or if you want to buy in bulk and not buy in a capsule form. The next one is Virad Kim Binder. What we utilize this for is it's predominantly in step 3 of a phase or step protocol when I'm really working deep within the system. But for people that come just for the specific binder, it is really the one we use for long haulers COVID. It's Vi. The Vi in this is for virus particulate, denatured viral particles, and also volatile organic chemicals, which are VOCs are really some of the most industrial chemicals in new carpet smell, new car smell, sizing and clothes, Febreze, Glade, all of those little sticks you use that cause endocrine hormone disruption. This helps with that. It's also those of you that have received radiation poisoning, I start working within 2 to 4 weeks post-radiation after your cancer protocol is finished in order to remove the remnants of radiation out of you that continue to cause damage to your healthy cells. So once the protocols for treatment are complete, we're able to pull out the rest, which will help improve your overall vitality instead of you continuing to carry that radiation, which continues to cause demise in other parts of the body. And then the red, that was the viruses, the radiation, and then the chem is industrial chemicals. Just think Route 7. Think our industrial, Route 2. Think of more on the east side of Parkersburg, the south sides of Parkersburg, all the power plants, all of the industrial plants, the byproducts of coal and other heavy metals leach into our waters, they get into our system, and they cause a myriad of cancers. These binders are so strong, again, they do a covalent bond once they bind to the constituent and help to remove it from the system without falling back into a different cellular space. And then the last binder that I will talk about today is called HMET binder. That's heavy metal environmental toxin binder. This is the Mac Daddy that I use for removing glyphosate. For all of you that are getting ready to face your Roundup addiction for weeds, then this is the one that I use to help prevent you from receiving Roundup toxicity. I've used it for everything from reversing thyroid cancers, to assist in removing the toxins so the body heals itself. Also, to really reduce the load, we do glyphosate testing here in-house. We send it out, but we give you the test kit, which is a urine test kit to say how much glyphosate, which is the word for Roundup, is embedded in your system. It really lives in the bone marrow. It contributes a lot to thyroid cancers, prostate cancers, and leukemia or lymphomas. So if you do utilize Roundup on a regular basis and are concerned about the buildup in your bone marrow and or intracellularly in your system, and you believe that it is making a health sacrifice on you, then I would go ahead and make a scheduled appointment. We can get your urine tested, and whether you want it tested or not, we can continue to use this. Another thing that I use this for is anything from mercury poisoning from coal runoff to lead poisoning from pistol shooting or bad paint to aluminum from God knows where you get it, from your deodorant or your cooking or the air. Also other ancillary heavy metals such as cadmium and arsenic. And we work with all of them. All these binders have changed the game, you all. It is amazing. I keep saying that CellCore is detoxifying as what chiropractic became for the nervous system. It's a slam dunk. It helps remove that toxicity, gives you your life back. Once you remove the toxins, the body recalibrates. It puts you back into this vitality force to be reckoned with. And I just encourage anybody that is ready to start diving deep to get a hold of us. All you do is call Jacob or Ashley and schedule a nutritional consult, and then you begin with me. So I look forward to seeing you and helping you get one of these major toxins out of your system to allow your life to better be lived. Have a great day.